Hey there everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to Liverpool, John Lennon Airport, and welcome to my very first PMDG DC-6 video, which is going to be an overview, as I'm still not quite familiar with the aircraft and any radio engines, aircraft in general. That's a very new world to me, made possible by my friend John, which got me the aircraft. Once again, thank you a lot, mate. Meant a lot to me, honestly. So we're here in Liverpool, John Lennon, with a Martinair Holland livery. We're flying to Amsterdam today. I'll probably not show the entire flight as it's quite a long one. It's 1 hour and a half, 1 hour 20 minutes, about that. I'm going to be showing the startup procedure up until pushback. I'm try and do most of it. I'm going to be using the flight engineer after pushback because there's a couple of things that I haven't memorized yet. I'm still very new to the aircraft. I would say like 4 or 5 hours flight time total, so it's all gonna be from the top of my head, so I might do stuff wrong. First of all, we're gonna obviously pan around, look at what we got here. As you can see, it is brilliantly modeled. Like, it's full PBR, you can tell, like how it actually looks like metal and stuff. The reflections are brilliantly made. The texture, which is a third-party one, which I'm gonna link in the video description, by the way, because I think it deserves to be downloaded. Like, it is that great. It's a fabulous work that really deserves attention. It's PHMAM from the 60s, and actually I've done this flight because there's one of the Rio pictures from PHMAM was taken in Liverpool, the old Liverpool airport, which is kind of still the same. Honestly, they just changed names and terminal, obviously, and 2 of the runways got disabled, and the main one was kept, which is runway 927, which is the one that's still active. But anywho, as you can tell, really great work when it comes to modeling. It's got an awesome chrome. This one, the specific livery, doesn't feature a chrome on the radio engines, but most do, and it's brilliant. Here it's like kind of light blue. I don't know what you make of that color exactly, but it looks great by any it really does look amazing. As you can tell, it's a cargo plane. Our beloved PH boy. Look at the reflection. Like, the PBR is insane. I find myself like I could spend the entire day just looking at this wonderful airplane. It's really that great. So we have the pushback tractor from back in the day, ground power, the stairs for maintenance. We got like the oil pan thingy to catch any potential leak. And well, let's get inside and figure out what to do next, I guess. I forgot to open the doors. How else are we gonna get inside? Oh no. Let's let's fix that. Open the door, and you can see it has a wonderful animation. Comes along with it. Look at that. And the stairs suddenly show up, mounted for us. Then we can just take the walk of fame, not walk of shame, into the aircraft. Let's just pretend. And here we are. Welcome to the DC-6A, meant for cargo. Oh, there. And we're in partially. My camera is acting weird as of recently. I don't know why, but still back. So this is the cockpit. Lovely one of that. Like, very, very, very nice job with the texturing. Faux 3D. You can tell. Like, every gauge is full 3D. You got custom textures. Like, no gauge looks the same. Even the ones that say the same thing, like the BMEP one, you can tell it's completely different. You got like a reasonable amount of wear and tear. You can tell it's an old aircraft, but it's well taken care of. Like, it's not really falling apart or anything. Totally flyable. We got nice seats. All the placards are fully readable, as you can tell. And I'm gonna get started with the flow, which is not by any means the real one. I'm just trying to get the thing started, just getting the thing going. I'm not following any specific procedures. Then again, bear in mind I have just 5 hours with this airplane, so I don't really know what I'm doing. And I know it's gonna get things started just fine under normal temperatures. It works, but I cannot really say, hey, this is the right way to do it, because it's probably not. But let's head to the overhead panel, where we're gonna find our ground power. It's available. You can press on it. If it lights up, it means you have ground power, which obviously we're gonna make use of. So we switch ground power, and here we have the toggle switch between battery and ground power, or off. So if we have it on plain battery, turn this on, it's gonna turn on. It's gonna be on the battery, obviously, and same goes for the ground power. So we're gonna switch this on, and the systems are gonna slowly come to life. Whatever needs energy here, we're gonna turn the radio on, we're gonna turn the GPS on, we're gonna turn this on, and we're gonna turn the transponder on eventually. Not now, because I don't want to bother. So before I forget, we set the airport alt, which is sea level for Liverpool, and it's also same for Amsterdam. Actually, it's below sea level in Amsterdam. And we're gonna make this go, oh no, this cabin, it's the flight one that we gotta move there. We're cruising at 15,000 feet today. It's not a very high cruise, but then again, it's a short flight, and this thing is a slow climber. So I mean, if we get any higher than this, it's gonna be complicated. All right, so there we have it, 15,000. Then we go back to the overhead, because we got more stuff to do here. So we have the inverters, which gotta come on, all of them. So we have the inverters going. Sweet. Once we have that out of the way, we can get the pumps going on low for the engine start. We're gonna start the engine before pushback. I'm not really sure if that's the standard procedure, but oh yeah, even actually, before we do that, we gotta keep in mind, I'm still getting used to the cameras, by the way. I'm not very familiar with Microsoft Flight Sim at all. I mean, camera wise, etc., because I'm a prepared user more than anything. But we're slowly getting used to it. Ramp manager, we get rid of the wheel chocks. No, we just get rid of that because we're starting an engine, and it would be weird to have that in a way. And later on, we get rid of the chocks and the tow bar and ground power unit. Obviously, once we have the engines, which would then provide the electricity that we might need for this endeavor. So now let's start with the engines finally, which is very fun. And I'm gonna make sure that the sound's not gonna like cover my own voice. That would be weird. But there we go. We have the pumps going. We can get this ignition on buff the magnetos. There you go. Switch the selector to engine 3. Oh, before that, I just realized I made a huge mistake, because I completely forgot to do the other stuff, which are prereqs. We gotta mess with the tank selectors. Almost forgot. I'm telling you, this plane is a little tricky. It's not like hard, it's just tricky, because you gotta do a lot of stuff beforehand. Like the steps are simple. It's just that it has that sweet order that must be followed, and if you miss the order, you screw up and the engine doesn't start, obviously. So you gotta be very careful with that. Okay, with that out of the way, with the pumps going, finally we have booster pumps and we have the fuel flow going. The tank selector is fine, so we can finally get the engine going. Let's go. We hit start.
3.
Listen to the count.
6. 9. 12.
And on 12, we gotta hit boost. Look at that. And it started. Simple as that. So you hit start, you wait for 12, you hit this, and you hit the primer. You hit boost and you hit primer, and bingo, there you go. You have your engine starting. So now it went back to normal, so we can start engine 4. Move the magnetos, move selector to 4, then we hit start, listen to the count.
3, 6, 9, 12.
I was not fast enough. Oh, I was. No, I was not. It's dying. Or is it? No, it actually worked. Okay, that's amazing. So we have our engines. Right, that's sweet. Let's head back inside. And I should close the doors probably. It's not very wise to start engines with your doors open. Or so I would think. Let's bring the stairs back up. Still only in a ground power unit. And also, before I forget, let's just get this out of the way, then we close the door. Just there. Now that we have engine 4 and engine 3, we could start the generators. Like so. So we have generators going for that. Once we get rid of the ground power, it means we're gonna still have energy for all the instruments. So now let's start engine 2. Not sure if that's the right order, if it's 3, 4, 1, 2, but let's start engine 2 now. So just check the booster pumps. Yeah.
3, 6, 9, 12.
And it should come. Oh my god, my camera is being tricky today. I don't know what happened, but as you can see, it has finally come to life. So now just one last engine, and we can finally call it a day. So we move the magnetos, we move that to 1, we hit boost, or we hit start, I mean.
6, 9, 12.
Look at that. And it's coming alive. Or is it? Yeah, we have a great start. Now we just manage the temperatures, which is very important. And bear in mind that temperatures for radial engines mostly are very important. So let's get back to our cockpit camera, which would be this one. And let's check the temperatures up and close. Yeah, so we have 3 and 4 up to temperature already, the red mark there. And engine 1 and 2 are still a little far away, which is only a matter of time, honestly, until it gets to temperature. So let's just make sure that it's on generator control. And now that we have generators going, we can get rid of the ground power unit. For that, we just switch back to plain battery. As you can see, the systems remain on, and we can finally ditch the ground power unit. So yeah, that's about it. We can just go and untick goodbye battery, we need you no more. Right, so now we just make sure that everything's clear. My camera is still being really weird, but yep, as clear as they can possibly get. The reflection though, my god, this is nice. We're taking off from runway 27 today, so that's quite a taxi all the way down there. If only we're runway 9, it doesn't make much of a difference either way. We just gotta, you know, look at Hampton, very nice hotel there. Quite a big parking lot for the airport. Never actually paid enough attention to the surroundings. That's amazing. Anyway, we're talking about the DC-6 here, not the airport itself. So let's head back inside, because now we still got a little bit more to go. The flight plan is not working. This is really strange, because I'm sure I put the flight plan in. Why is it not there? Come on! Oh, okay, so it has... The plan is there, it's just hidden for some reason, but it is there. We have the departure set. Okay, temperatures are good. We can finally taxi. It would be interesting if we could push back, which, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let me just get rid of this. Actually, I think the co-pilot can do that for us. Let's get back inside, like so. And now that we're here, we can go on the... Oh, I forgot one very important thing, the loads. Because this is not the actual figures that I've planned for this flight. I'm gonna go and see brief quickly, just for a quick conversion. So we have 3,000 kilos. Wait, pounds to kilos. I gotta convert because I really don't know. So that I can actually have an idea. So we have about 7,000. All right. That's about right. And now that we got that out of the way, we need the cargo weights, which is 2.2. That would be 4.8. Payload 9.1. Oh, it's generated me some passengers for some reason. That's 9.1, which would then 9.1 kilos would be 20,000 pounds. Wow, that's a little heavy, isn't it? Right, it's gonna be a little balance is gonna be a little bit screwed up, but that's fair enough. Doesn't really matter. It's just there. 20,000, just about that. So we're gonna be on the heavy side today, very heavy. Let's check 80,000. So let's go back to the overhead because we gotta check the placard here. Oopsie daisy, come on, that's a little tricky. So we have 80,000. That's gonna be a rotation of 101 on approach 131. Reference 101. All right, for 128. Oh, that's full flaps. Okay, 131. For takeoff 101, we're gonna be fine. Alright, so now, yeah, AFE time, flight engineer is gonna help us figure the rest out, because I really don't remember. Okay, so we have the fuel, we have the cargo, yeah. Flight manager time, that was, before start we've done most of it. So after start.
Start selected boost pumps.
There you go.
Off and off. Battery switch. Plane benching. Generators and inverters. Checked and on. Emergency lights. Armed.
Look at how it shakes.
Ground tower. Removed. After start checks complete.
Well, that means we can push back, I guess. Where's the pushback thing? There. Start pushback, tug speed. Oh, I don't have parking brake release. Tug speed. Let's go. Let's make it faster, just a little bit. Quite a fun pushback there. Look at that. Faster. Oh lad, it's going. I wish we'd have like an actual tractor pushing us back, but it's fine. Look how it goes. And then we start. I love this mod for the pushback. Like, it's so convenient, so handy, and it always works as you want it to. Take notes, GSX. Oh, look, someone taking off. Runway 9 active. Oh, that's convenient. That is really convenient for us. Much better. Slight change of plans though, but yeah, that's gonna work, I assume. Right, so now we push back and we can close this. We got back inside and start the taxi to runway 9 for departure. So gust lock is still there. I think they're gonna take it off for the before takeoff check. I hope they do. Okay, let's start powering up ever so slightly. We don't want to go past 1000 RPM because that would mean shaking all around, because harmonizing frequencies and stuff, we don't want that. Look at that. Oh boy, it do be shaking a little bit. So I can tell it's old. It shakes, really does shake. Thankfully it's just cargo, so no one's gonna get vibrated other than us. So now we get on taxiway. If I could see the taxiway, that is. Oh, there's no, where is it? Supposed to be a line here, but there's no line. Okay, I'm using the brakes even though I should not. Easier to just control on the throttles, but can't be arsed honestly at this point. Just want to get closer to the runway for our departure. Airplane, come on, that's too fast. Oh, power went out. What the hell? Way too much. What the hell? How did that happen? It was at 1000. What? Okay, let's before takeoff.
Boost pumps. Boost pumps on low.
There.
Fuel selector and crossfeed. Main tanks and crossfeed off. Autopilot and carb heat. Off and cold. Hydraulic system. Down, forward, pressure and quantity checked. Okay. Flaps 20.
Let's line up and take off, boys. There's nothing else to do.
Windows and turbine. Closed and on. Controls. Gust lock release.
It's fine.
Detonator. On. Mixture and cowl flaps. Region locked. Set. Transponder. On.
Alright, so we're lined up. Not really, but almost. I think. Let me get back inside the main camera. Oh, shooters. That's not the camera. Oh, there.
Extended and on.
I'm still
Before
getting
takeoff checks complete.
used to that. That was a little odd. Okay, did he actually unlock the thing? Oh, he did. Okay, so now we have full control. Right, let's take off. It's the only thing we can do now. Take off dry.
Stabilize. 30 inches stabilize.
Goodbye, Liverpool. It was nice. Look at that. Powering up. Oh my. Look at manifold pressure going all the way up to 53 in a bit. And then we can lift off.
Cowl flaps.
It's gonna be fun.
Cowl flaps. Cowl flaps set. Full power, please.
Full power.
Full power.
Ooh, look at that. $53. We have the flaps. We're good.
Full power set.
Well, let's go. It's the only thing now. Let's take off. Again, it's a little bit different than jets for the takeoff. You're gonna see what I mean in a second. So you don't really pull back that much. If you do that, it's gonna stall. You gotta be very, very gentle with the aircraft. It's just a slight motion, upwards motion, just ever so slightly, just to tell it, hey, wake up. Time to fly. Like, we're approaching 100. Let's go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That was actually not very... But yeah, you cannot, like, pitch up a lot. Just a slight nudge. And then, you know, go up to 140 so that you can start your climb. Okay, gear up, lights up. Let's go.
Liverpool approach Martin Air 6 is type 1 miles east of Liverpool, 300 feet. Request flight following.
Right, so we just follow a straight line. Amsterdam's that way, somewhat. It's gonna be fine. And then we can soon engage the autopilot, more so the gyro pilot.
Squad 5767 Martin Air 6.
The gyro pilot, gyro pilot, I don't know. Alrighty, speed is a lot better now. Still quite a sluggish climb. That's when we can get our autopilot going. So for that, we trigger, make sure it's on GPS here, like so. Then we go down here, enable. We cannot enable this. Oh, we can actually. We just pull this up, and there we go. Now we go on the gyro pilot. I don't know. Gyro. Look at that though. Photogrammetry, boy. Ready, so it should be following. We just switch to localizer. Come on. There you go, it should be following the GPS. Keeping the climb going. It's gonna try to curse the climb. Oh, climb power, there you go. Climbing at 160 is predicted. Then we get all the way up to 15,000. And we call it a day. Let's watch. Oh my god, the camera is not following the airplane. I forgot about that. Camera follow drone follow, camera drone follow mode, and look at how it goes. Hey boy, let's go. Yeah. In the meantime, I got a very nice view of Liverpool until it tries and catches up with the airplane, and hopefully the autopilot is doing a nice job there, keeping us on a straight climb. I mean, not straight, because if you're climbing or not straight, I mean not like killing us or anything. Well, this is going to be very slow. Gosh, let's change the speed, make it faster just a little bit. Drone speed, let's speed this thing up, and still not being efficient enough. Drone lock mode, no, it doesn't work. Okay, so we lost the drone because of forgetting the follow mode. That's very shameful. Let's get back to the airplane. But here we have a decent climb, as you can tell. Camera is still playing catch up, but let's check if we are actually. Where's the? My God, is it gonna try and probably up ahead? Is it actually even tracking? It makes me wonder. I'm very new to this whole thing.
Going to 135
if it's
Manchester approach Martin Air 6, 4,800 feet.
If it's doing its thing. I'm gonna give it some time. Maybe it is. It's just not. It's just a little shy. Yeah, it's on localizer. It should be. Wait, do we have it on GPS mode? Yeah, we do. Well, it's probably gonna try and catch up at some point. Look at that. Very nice graphics. If only we had a drone, but the drone was forgotten. Oh boy. It's time to play catch up. Maybe if I speed this thing up, like massively, drone speed, let's make it go very fast. Still not enough to catch, and I'm probably gonna make my airplane crash. It would be nice if I could find it somewhere. It's gonna be hard, isn't it? I mean, I would assume that by clicking on drone lock it would instantly snap into the airplane, whatever it is, but it's not the case. So shamefully enough, we've lost our airplane, which is right here. Oh, need to use the standard camera, I guess. Which is... Do we have a wing view camera? Oh, we do. Look at that lighting though, like very nice external. Oh my god. Oh, we do have a couple of fixed cameras. I need to disable the heads-up display though. I need to remember how I should do that. But look at the PMDR on that. That is beautiful. Okay. This is actually amazing. Still quite a way to go. Go back to the cockpit. Drone camera is gonna be missed, though. It was fun having it. It's trying to recatch. Is it actually? I don't know, but thing is, it might try and catch with ETPOS or SUGAL. We assume manual control. From there on, we take manual control and hope for the best. So far, so good. Oh, is that Manchester? Yeah, it is, probably. I mean, the runway is slightly... Yeah, that 23 left and 23 right. It does look awfully like Manchester. I'm sure now. Oh, we could check the map, obviously. Let's see. Yeah, MCT. That would be Manchester indeed. Good old EGCC, nice airport. And on that note, I think I'm going to be ending the video around here. I mean, I don't have to drone anymore, which would provide us with some nice airplane visuals from the sides while cloud surfing. Suddenly we don't have that, so I'm going to be calling it a day now. And I see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this short overview and short flight prepping and taking off Liverpool and turning on AP. I know it's not much. I'm still getting used to the aircraft. I just wanted to make a video. Just say, hey, the aircraft's actually amazing. It's a lot of fun to fly, you know. And it's definitely one step forward when it comes to like aircraft in general, airliners in general, in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's by far the most advanced one that we have until now. Obviously, things could change, like, you know, late 2021, but as of now, July 2021, this is the best study level airliner that we got by far. It's really, really nice. It's got awesome sounds. It performs very nicely. It's very complex. Everything's clickable. You got even the circuit breakers. It's just a lot of fun and surprisingly easy to learn. Even though it's complex, it's very hands-on. You got your help with the flight engineer. It's not hard to land at all. It's a very, very it likes to grease by nature because you kind of fly it into the runway. It doesn't demand flare like a jet. You just fly it slowly into the runway. And if you have a stable approach, a stable speed, there's no way it could go wrong. It's amazing. So if you care about landing rates, there's that as well. It's a very, very sweet greaser. Very nice. And the fact that everything's simulated, and, you know, there's a lot of, it's high maintenance. You got to be paying attention to the temperatures, the engine power, the BMP, and etc. It makes it really, really compelling and fun. Highly recommended. It's really like for someone like me that's used to like Airbus A320 flying a lot. It's something different. It's good for a change. It's good to switch sometimes. Try something out of the ordinary, and it turns out it can be very fun as well. You know, with not as much automation, basically no automation whatsoever. I mean, you have your autopilot, if you can call it that, even because it's a gyro, I don't know. You depend on the GPS or the Garmin thingy, which is also a little, you know, not very cash money if I gotta say so myself. I would prefer a G1000 or a G3000, which touch screens, and that would make it much easier to set up flight plans and approaches and stuff. Because this one, if you want to switch, like if you want to change the runway, it's just a lot of pain to do. I end up just flying visually. Now, thankfully, it's a very, very nice aircraft. It's very tame, very nice to hand fly, very easy to maintain, under control, all things considered. So I cannot recommend it enough. If you want a challenge, if you want to have like real fun with something completely new, because most people are used to 737s, A320s, 777s, 747s. It's a completely different experience. It's an airplane from the 40s. It makes up for a very fun ride, for sure. And you can take it around like everywhere, because it was very popular back in the day. Lots of classic airlines from the past used to operate it. And there's cargo as well. You could do cargo ops. So it's a perfect excuse to go to places where you wouldn't usually go originally, and now you can. You know, want to go to like India, Asia, China. I mean, it's in Asia, but still. Tajikistan, Afghanistan, I don't know, whatever, just, you know, that's the perfect excuse. And it's a kind of plane that, you know, it just begs for you to get into like IMC and really stabilize, stop the climb, and get your cruise. So cruise checklist.
Cruise power, please.
Let's go.
Setting cruise power.
Just gonna speed up on our way to Amsterdam. But yeah, it's a really fun experience. So if you want to try something new, something out of the ordinary for you, and just it's like a big GA in a sense, with 4 engines, with a lot of range, and with decent, I mean, amazing PBR and stuff. And it's got this wonderful tablet as well. Cannot complain, honestly. Having a lot of fun, and I cannot recommend it enough. I'm gonna be making more videos soon, hopefully full trip with landing, etc., and hopefully doing the right procedures, not depending so much on a flight engineer, as much as, you know, realistically it's more close to real life by using it than not using it, because it adds up to the whole factor. But it would be nice to be able to fly it by myself, you know what I mean? At some point I want to do an entire flight just by myself, operating. I mean, my first flight and my second flight were kind of by myself. I mean, I was being assisted by John, which got me the aircraft. He was helping me out, so I cannot say, oh, it was fully by myself, because it was not. Things went nicely, and then I tried the same, just me, and it ended up very badly. I mean, I landed. I cannot say I did not land, but I was trying to fly into my local airport. It's kind of hard to spot because there's a bunch of trees. Like, the runway is covered by trees on every side, and when you're on approach path, you cannot really see the runway because it's covered. You can only see the runway either if you're too high or if you're way too low, which made it very tricky. It's on top of a hill, so whenever I would miss the approach and circle around to try and line up, I couldn't spot it, so I would have to get high, spot it, and then, you know, circle around, try and line up, and lose it again. So I had to try like a couple times. It got very, very overwhelming, but it was fun. I was actually having fun because it looks so nice and it sounds so nice, and it, you know, behaves so nicely and realistically that I didn't mind. I just assumed, hey, that's something that could happen in real life if the pilot's blind. I mean, my eyes are not fully perfect, so hey, you know, there you go. It's just what happens. I couldn't spot the runway. It's not that I couldn't operate the airplane or anything. It just turned out that, you know, the runway was kinda not wanting to be spotted. So it made it so nice. And then my second flight was from Amsterdam to Eindhoven, which is not available in in Flight Sim by default. I forgot about that. I didn't install scenery, so I got there. Where's the runway? I couldn't see the runway, and I was very mad because I mean it's Netherlands. It's flat. There's nothing covering the runway. It just was not there because it's not available in Flight Sim. So I got very confused. Like, where the heck's the runway? I cannot spot it. Turns out there was no runway because there's no Eindhoven by default. I had to fly to an airstrip nearby and land in car today and whatever. I mean, it happens. I've been having a lot of fun, all things considered, even, you know, with the little eventualities that happened, like not being able to spot the runway, which made it very tricky. But it was a lot of fun, the most fun I've ever had. I mean, I love the Airbus. I love flying the Airbus a lot. You know, I fly every day. I fly for a bunch of virtual airlines, but it's like it's always you always know it's gonna work out because you know the airplane. I mean, my case obviously, I know that plane upside down. I know everything with the very palm of my hand. So it's always, you know, the same thing in a way. It doesn't challenge me anymore. You know, it doesn't really offer me any sort of thing where I go like, what do I do now? Where I would eventually panic or anything, because I kind of know what to do when things go wrong, and they hardly go wrong because the Airbus is a very nice plane. I fucking love it because it's so stable and so, well, you know, if you know, you know. Airbus is just straight up great, and this one was very great for its time. It's had like groundings in the first years of operation of 46, 47, but after they fixed the problem, it didn't crash. Like, we had the DC-6 in Brazil for a lot of years, not even a single one accident happened. It was that safe, that reliable. So I mean, it's more so on the technicalities because it's a different aircraft, the systems are different, it doesn't hold your hand as much as the Airbus would or the 737 would. So you gotta actually step up your game, and it's fun. It's really fun to get out there and, you know, actually fly the aircraft. You know, manually, just ILS not working, no problem. Let's let's fly manually, landing manually, doesn't matter. And it's very rewarding when you touch down and, you know, you've done an entire flight by yourself. It just feels great, you know, because that's basically the experience they had, like our ancestors back in the day flying the DC-6. That was about it. You know, there was no ECAM telling you what was wrong. You had to actually spot it yourself. And if you didn't spot it, well, too late, mate. You would die. There's no alarms, nothing. I mean, there's the fire alarm, but there's no other kind of alarm. It doesn't warn you if your landing gear is not down, for example, which let's just say I had one of these. I assumed the flight engineer dropped the landing gear, but he didn't. So I had no landing gear. I landed, you know, sort of bellied landing. It was quite nice landing actually, but I didn't have a landing gear, so I kind of totaled the airplane, which sucks. But hey, it's part of the fun, huh? I mean, it just goes to show that you shouldn't rely on the flight engineer that much, because sometimes it does interpret like the final procedures, like the final approach very well, and knows when to do stuff, and sometimes it does not. It provides a wrong interpretation, or maybe too soon, or maybe too late, because I was already flaring when he was like, oh, landing gear down. Like, bro, seriously. I thought the landing gear was down like 20 minutes ago, but you know, it's part of the fun. So if you don't rely on it too much, and you know, you gotta stay on top of the aircraft. It's a very important thing. You gotta be on top of it. You cannot let the aircraft be on top of you. You have to anticipate all the things it's gonna try and pull on you, and if you do that, you're gonna be just fine. And you're gonna have the greatest time because it's a fabulous aircraft with a fabulous platform. I mean, we have photo scenery all around now. We have volumetric clouds. We have, you know, a bunch of good quality freeway airports. It is definitely the sim that we were waiting for. And the problem was the SDK, which was slightly broken, but now, I mean, it was not broken per se, it just lacked like the needs that study level add-on would actually require. And we now have it. We can fortunately say we have proper physics. We have a proper platform now in a sense. Because this one, I don't know what they did, what kind of magic they did, but it feels a lot better compared to anything else I've ever tried in Flight Simulator. It really does fly like an aircraft. It does bring the confidence that you get from any study level add-on, from any other platform, whether it's Flight Sim X or Prepared or X-Plane. You know, you just get a confidence, which is essential. If you don't trust the aircraft, if you don't feel like the aircraft is realistic, planted enough, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't provide you that sense that, you know, you're actually flying a plane. It's the immersion, you know, and it brings that to the table once and for all. So with that being said, and we're ready, you know, a cruise. Gonna be in Amsterdam in about 40-ish minutes, hopefully maybe less. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. See you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And then again, remembering it's an overview, it's not a review. I'm not capable to review this aircraft because I'm not really that well versed in radio engines or any kind of aircraft by that means. I mean, I fly the Airbus, but I'm not really an Airbus specialist by any means. Never been anywhere near a plane in real life. So bye bye guys, see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.